Paid program. No responsibility.
None.
Or the guest on their show.
The Electoral College votes. Putin calls. Operation Warp Speed commences. Judge Zeller joins us. All that and more coming up on today's Wade and Carter Show.
Very exciting. Very excited to watch a pro work.
See how calm and collected I was? There's no panic here.
Electoral College votes. Putin calls.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning to you. Let me try that. The Electoral College votes. Putin calls. Judge Zeller in. The Wade Carter Show. Wade Carter Show.
That's pretty much how it goes.
Wade Carter Show. Man,
Good morning,
back.
YouTubers.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back to my morning.
Yeah, welcome back to your morning. Let's do this.
Wade and Carter weather brought to you by the great folks at Deerland Feed.
Stop by for all your ag needs, your pet needs, anything that is home, ranch. If you're trying to make it grow, keep pests away, help your pets and animals, Deerland Feed has it all.
43 degrees in Victoria, heading to a high today of 64 under overcast skies. Today, Ash, you'd want to throw kind of a soft bait, maybe something with some purple in it. The big trout seem to like purple on the overcast day.
Do they?
Yeah,
Did they this weekend?
They did. Man, I tell you what, we did a catch and release fishing trip down in Port Mansfield, and just, well, I ended up at the end of the day, after all the 23-inch, 24, I caught a 26-inch trout that was 5.5 pounds.
Nice.
But yesterday morning, after the front, or in my mind, it was during the middle of the front.
Of course it was.
It was in the middle
It's
of
not
winter.
the same story if it's
20-mile-an-hour
nice
winds
out.
and 40 degrees. But I caught a 27 and change inch, 7.5 pound trout, and it was worth standing out there in waist deep water with waders, but just freezing. Beautiful, beautiful trip. Best fishing trip I've ever had.
Nice.
Except with T-Lat. Now, if T-Lat and I go and all we catch is one Dorado, that's a better trip. Yeah. But without T-Lat on the boat, best trip I've ever had. So what do you got going? I see Caleb Shaw. Thank you, sir. Thank you, my friend, for standing in my stead yesterday. Kind of wish I'd have gotten you to do that at my first wedding. But thank you for being, of course, you were 11 at the time, but thank you for being there for me yesterday, sir.
Trying to get this thing rolling. See who's in this morning.
You're doing great. I'm following what you're doing. I'm picking up what you're laying down. There's folk at Trey Molina.
Funky Trey's in. Let's see who the first one in this morning. CWB. I think it's two mornings in a row for CW. He's on the ball. Judge Posey right there near the top. Matt Boucher, good morning. Jeremy Pena, H.R. Mallory. Scott Snow checking in. Bob Watley, good morning to you, sir. Richard King. Bobby Leister. Welcomes back Carter. Says we're still at 337. Patrick Strauss, good morning. Andy Rhea Jr. I saw Andy yesterday. Had to stop by the UPS store. Talk about my great experience there yesterday. Chris Conrad checking back in. He was absent yesterday. Don't think your absence didn't go unnoticed. Young man.
He called me.
Bring a note from your mom.
Called me and said Chris Conrad wasn't there.
Christina Wise, good morning. Lorena Bargenbrook, good morning. Guten Tag, Guten Morgen to you.
Very well done. That's a married name. She was like a Smith. She doesn't know what you're talking about.
Tammy Williams.
You know that German at her.
Funky Madeline Mayer says she couldn't sleep.
Wouldn't surprise me, though, if Lorena said, no, actually, I minored in German at A&M, and I'm very fluent. It wouldn't surprise me at all.
Amanda Smith King, Caleb Shaw. Christina Wise says she's been on the road all night and will be in Nashville by noon.
And you still have time to check in. We appreciate that.
South Carolina playing Vanderbilt? I don't know what's going on there.
No, they've got South Carolina had to play the COVID card and bail out of the rest of that season.
Funky Trey, did you hear about the penalty for the high school kid in the Valley that came down from the UIL?
No, this must be about the kid that went out and just blasted the coach after he was ejected.
The
You
ref.
remember? Yeah. Well, I'm sorry, the referee. They ejected him for unsportsmanlike conduct, and then he just came off the sidelines and like blindsided this guy. My father-in-law,
Pancake.
Joey Stockbauer, pointed out, he goes, let's look at that video again. And in that video, the kid goes out and hammers the referee, and the coaches and the players come out. And out of nowhere comes a all dressed in black police officer. And the officer's like, what? What's happened here? And you see him, he turns to the guy's on the ground, right? Then he turns and like he just makes his way up the field. Like he goes to if it happened on like the 25 down here, he just kind of meanders on up. Well, he's on about the opposite 40 over there talking to some players. Like he ain't got nothing to do with it.
Well, you know what happened there? He was probably talking to somebody in the stands or near the fence, and all of a sudden over his radio, they told him to get his butt onto the field because something was going on.
Working on a strawberry and raspa. He was having a snow cone. Good morning, Judge
And let's
Posey.
be honest, 99 times out of 100, 999 times out of 1,000, 9,999 times out of 10,000.
You don't need the call.
You don't need the call. He was doing what he does every other morning or every other game. Good morning, Justin Glass.
Actually, you're correct. I did. Nice. No, wait. Who above that did major in something?
I think she's talking about you
And the German.
and the German.
Yeah, but no, if you come down, somebody's liking that comment.
I don't know.
Right above, right there. Oh, no, she's not. Craziness.
Would you stay in your lane?
Yeah, I'm sorry. You do the comments. So there's Justin Glass.
Oh man.
So
where exactly is Port Mansfield? I don't know.
You go south, you go through Corpus, you go through Kingsville, Bishop, little town, nothing towns, through Rivera. Then all of a sudden you end up, and so Rivera is where you take a left and you go over to Baffin Bay. Okay. Then you drive the length of the land cut, which is the Intercoastal Waterway. And you drive down to, you drive down to Raymondville, which is about 20 miles north of Harlingen.
Mm-hmm.
And you cut a chuggy to the left and go all the way to the coast, and that's Port Mansfield.
Okay.
And it is, and there's schools of thought on this. You know,
the Iceman says Lower Laguna Madre, great fish.
Correct, absolutely. And Baffin Bay is kind of like the mecca of Texas sport fishing, okay? Because scientists have studied the salinity levels, and for some reason, the big trout love being there. But Baffin Bay is no longer like this exclusive place that nobody goes. Everybody goes down.
When I first moved here, somebody said they were going fishing in Baffin Bay, and I was like, why are you going all the way to Canada to go fishing? Because there's a Baffin Bay up there.
But when you leave there and you go down to Port Mansfield, and Baffin's very similar, there's nothing there. There's just fishing shacks. Some are nicer than others, but there's just fishing locations. That's all that's there.
This time of year on Baffin Bay in Canada, there's ice fishing shacks.
Right, which is like something I would have nothing to do with. And they catch nothing fish, like mackerel stuff. It's terrible. Good morning, Pat McDonald.
But Hannah Smith King points out something good here. She says, cops are there to handle the punks in the stands, not on the field. True story.
You don't expect the punks to be on the field. No. Good point. But so there's two bait stores there that also have groceries.
Bob Watley says finally some good science.
Yeah, that have two bait stores that have groceries, but it's sparse. You take
what counts for groceries?
I mean, they
chicharrones and a lot of beer and some meat that won't spoil when it's outside in the heat, right?
Yeah. The churches down there sell beer. I mean, there's beer everywhere, but it's there's very little food or anything else. But it is very remote. When you leave there, come out of the marina, and you head north up the coast, pretty much the entire coast, as far as you can drive, is the King Ranch. I mean, we saw nilgai, huge white-tailed deer, all on the shore. But it's very remote. It's destitute. It's in the middle of nowhere. It really is.
Okay.
One of the last great places.
So the UIL suspended a student from all UIL sports. The coach and the athletic program have been put on probation.
How old was that kid?
18.
Oh, he's going to jail, man.
No, I think I don't think they slapped him with a felony.
Yeah,
It's a
but
misdemeanor.
couldn't he get popped for? So yeah, Trey Molina. Yes, I have been to Kings Inn, and it is phenomenal. $3 a shrimp, baby. Line up, all you can eat.
School's athletic program and the football coach handed public reprimands and probation by the UIL.
Coach got yelled at over that?
Yeah, I guess.
You don't really blame the coach for that.
Not really. No, I don't.
come
I mean,
on.
the kid just kind of lost it, took off. You know,
I mean, I know it's
that coach could have had a running 20-yard start and wouldn't have caught that kid.
That's
I
right.
saw the video.
And you look at it and you go, at what point? I mean, he's an 18-year-old man. You're going to hold the coach accountable for that. I get it. The buck stops with. I get it, but that guy shouldn't have a blemish on his professional resume just because some kid lost his mind and ran out on the field.
Yeah. And Edinburgh School District pulled the team out of the playoffs for the rest of the year, which I think, I mean,
It's much like LSU.
if they're
Did they
in,
win that game?
I don't know. Good call. Good question.
I wonder if Edinburgh won that game when the kid hit the referee. Must have. They're pulling themselves out of the playoffs.
Well, maybe it may have been irrelevant. Maybe that's why he was mad. I think would he have been suspended for the next game?
Did you watch by chance the Florida LSU game the other night?
I did not watch the Florida LSU game. That was a wild one, though, wasn't it?
Yeah, so you've got a kid from Florida. This is a shame, too. It's a shame that we've gotten to the point where the exaltations of success have made it so that you can't do anything. But this kid from Florida, fourth and like 10, LSU's got to go for it. And kid from Florida comes around and tackles this guy short of the yard to make, the yard to gain. And he stands up, and the LSU kid's shoe came off, and he just grabs it. Yeah, just kind of threw it, and it was obvious it was a penalty. But unfortunately, it gave LSU a first down. They went about a couple more yards, and the guy kicked a 57-yarder to win to put them ahead.
Isn't that after the play? Shouldn't it have been a dead ball foul?
Maybe. I mean, they gave him a first down. That's sportsmanlike conduct, first down for LSU. And they're going to kick a field goal. Then Florida comes down. The guy misses a similar 50-yarder. And I thought, they're done. Now they're a two-loss team. And sadly, to give you the trickle down, that play affects Texas A&M. Texas A&M's best win is now against a two-loss Florida team. And the kid gave LSU, it was a tie game. Anything could have happened. If you're the coach and you want to let that kid off the hook, you can say, hey, Billy, that wasn't all your fault. Come on, man, buck up. We could have lost anyway. But instead, it gives them two losses. They're done. They're going to play Alabama this next week, and they're going to get smoked. I'm convinced. Alabama's going to crush them.
Trey Molina says they did win that game.
Wow.
Greg Garcia, good morning. Rob Moore, Kniveling, Amanda Smith King says the kid should not have been playing in any UIL-sponsored sport. He did something similar last year in soccer.
Is that right? It sounds like he needs some counseling.
Yeah.
Good morning, Sheriff Louderback.
Well, maybe now the school does deserve a public reprimand and some probation.
See,
if
now,
there's a history here in
rest of the
UIL.
story. Yeah. And maybe the coach had to petition to get him on the team.
Maybe.
And that's all right. Well, he's your responsibility. That makes sense.
Sheriff Louderback, good morning. Marvin Mickish. Uh-oh.
What do you think happened?
It stopped.
How do you know?
Because I looked in the window and there's nothing there. Magic95victoria.com is where you can listen live. We're still on YouTube. Not sure what happened with the Facebook video. We hadn't mentioned anything political at this point. And the YouTube's still going. So
Yeah, but I got nothing on Facebook.
it ain't it's not a full-blown technical issue. It's some sort of technical issue, but we're not sure what.
Why is Facebook not?
It's time to tell you about Allen's Wrecker Service, 578-6300. Give Allen's a call for all your towing and wrecker needs. 578-6300. Allen's is simply the best in the region. they can get it done for you. VCS Rock and Roll Field Services, the only locally owned and authorized AT&T retailer. For all your communication needs, from cell phones to tablets to two-way communication radios that you heard Caleb Shaw talk about yesterday that he is having VCS install in his vehicles. They can handle all your communication needs. If you present them with a communications challenge, they will certainly rise to that occasion. We'll just have to probably put that up and no. But the folks at VCS can rise to the challenge and match and meet any communication need. Chesnick Furniture Company, 116 West 1 Lynn, right there in beautiful downtown Victoria. They've only been doing it for 100 years, folks, and they will provide you with great service, great furniture, and right now as they celebrate their 100th birthday, 50% off all furniture at Chesnick Furniture Company. And don't forget Veracruz, 576-6015. We're getting to the crunch time of the holidays, 9 days to Christmas Eve. And a lot of folks not going to be wanting to cook or anything, so you may want to give Veracruz a call. Order something to go.
Refresh.
Getting there.
Veracruz, folks, tomorrow's, all this week and again on Saturday, I think this Saturday, can't be positive. If there's enough pressure, they'll be there on Saturday. But all this week, Veracruz has everything you need, in and out under about $10, in and out in under an hour. Get by there. Great holiday time. You want to take your staff out somewhere, they'll make accommodations in the back, social distancing, they'll take care of you and your crew. I apologize for the technical difficulties. I don't feel like it's anything that we've done. It just is quirky to me and quite annoying. I'd love to be able to blame Ash because the banter would be senseless and endless, but there is no way to blame him.
Sometimes technology just doesn't cooperate.
Yeah, YouTube was doing great, and their HR Mallory says, welcome back. Thank you.
So where do you want to go now? Cleveland Indians deciding that?
No, I want to talk about how you feel. I'll tell you. I think they got it right. On the front page of today's paper, you hear comments about I don't know what county, one of the counties, Calhoun County, maybe talking about we've got more more issues than we have dollars, and then you read down and there's some great story about the success of our own county commissioners. Judge Zeller will be in here in a minute. We're going to let him bring us up to speed on what's going on with Victoria County.
Yeah, we're in Victoria County. You're no longer down in Kleberg or wherever.
Yeah, but the bigger issue is that your president, your guy, the guy that the Russia collusion put in place, Joe Biden, is on page 5. It's on page 5 that the Electoral College sounded like Harry Carey. Electoral is electoral. The Electoral College gave 270 votes plus to Joe Biden.
Well, let's be honest. Page 5 might be more prominent coverage than the Electoral College vote has ever received, ever.
Good point. He did say Joe's latest kick, folks, is, well, we're just trying to heal the soul of America. Remember how they say everything in such ways that you can't be against that. You can't be against that. If they come up to you tomorrow and say, by the way, in order to heal the soul of America, all white people, all of us need to go to some type of a re-education camp for a week or two and just learn about the plight of our other citizens. And that's just to heal the soul of America. So please get on the train, and we're going to close the doors, and then we're going to let you off at a place where you can be reprogrammed, because we're healing the soul of America. And then you get to go to work rebuilding government buildings that we've torn down, because that's a sustainable job. Yes. I think we're heading towards a probably non-violent, but a very recognizable revolt of middle America against the man.
I heard it summed up well. Democrats don't care what they have to do. They want the power and will do anything to get the power.
100%.
CW Bean says there is no unity.
Because
There is no unity when it's forced upon you from above.
that's right.
And they push this false narrative that we're divided.
Yeah. AOC said the other day, you can either join us, we will be united, or there will be war.
Well, there's the unity. As long as you agree with them and believe what they believe, they're united. They don't want anybody to have a different thought than them. They don't want anybody to react in ways they don't want them to react. That's the problem. That's where it starts.
Well,
It's fascism, socialism, communism, call it what you want, whichever ism you think needs to be there. Because if you look around the world, the Soviet Union, Putin now, disagree with Putin in a free Russia and see how free you really are.
You're dead.
Not really.
You're dead. People don't
Disagree.
They don't protest in Russia. Think about that. They don't protest.
No. Disagree with the Chinese Communist Party in Beijing and see what happens a la Tiananmen Square.
Right.
I mean, the only unity is the unity they allow you to have and the one that they promote and propagate. That's it.
I agree.
That's how it goes when you live under those types of rulers, and that's exactly the type of unity that all you have to do is kind of listen to the messaging. As long as you do this, we'll be unified.
It's not lost on me, Ash, that with your Soviet background, your comradeship, if you will, through the spy school and all of that you attended, it's not lost on me that Tiananmen Square just rolls right off your tongue, but you can't say Gutierrez to save your soul. We need to heal the soul of your lack of empathy and understanding of what I'm trying to do there. I want you to learn to roll your R's.
H.R. Mallory sums it up pretty well. Alyssa Milano reaching out to Republicans on Twitter for unity.
Yeah.
This has been, and he points out rightfully so, she's been one for the past 4 years.
No
if you have an
doubt.
opinion different than hers, you were a racist Nazi, probably a baby killer, and who knows what else.
Well, does it seem appropriate? Now, don't get me wrong. Donald Trump didn't always act appropriately or presidential, but does it seem appropriate that yesterday on Twitter I saw a comment from AOC? What's so sad is her name Alicia.
Alexander.
Right. I see. We call her AOC so much, and I don't mean it to be a detrimental. I call Donald Trump DJT too, so please don't think I'm being disrespectful. But she made the comment, somebody was doing a business that was booming and was getting like $95 million a day in additional, his stock value was going up, as they're getting ready to take this thing public. And AOC says, tax the rich. Now, do you really need a United States congressperson putting that on Twitter, we
leave that to the senators like Bernie Sanders.
But it's anti-capitalist. It's anti what we are as a nation.
Well, but that's what they are. They are anti-capitalist, anti-freedom.
No, you're right. So I put on there, that's right, tax the rich, take away all incentive, and then we can all just be ignorant bartenders and run for office.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
I mean, if you aspire to be a bartender out of Columbia, the only person responsible for your student debt at that point is you, because you could have achieved that with very, very affordable night school somewhere. My buddy Simpy checking in, back-to-back episodes for Simpy. He played football at the University of Calgary with Chris Conrad. There's a little
there you go.
9 degrees of Chris Conrad is there.
And I think at some point they both have met Kevin Bacon. We make a lot of Trey Molina references here. Molina is not a hard word to say. I'm not even sure it's Spanish, Trey, to be honest. It could be Italian.
Might be.
Yeah.
Might not even be.
HR Mallory says bars need to close. Super spreader. What a killjoy.
Would have put AOC out of work.
Right.
So the vaccination is here. Lots of videos yesterday for
Zero
publicity.
credit for President Trump. Zero credit for President Trump.
Operation Warp Speed is going to have about 20 million vaccinations complete by the end of this year. And yet, all we've heard from Democrats is there was no plan. There was no plan. There was no plan. You can't have 20 million vaccinations by the end of this year across the country. They ship these things out to about 45 different sites to store them.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen if you have no plan, Democrats. You're a bunch of moronic idiots who just repeat talking points because it makes you feel good, when the reality is, if there was no plan, these things would be sitting on a rail car somewhere or in a shipping container off the coast of the country and not going anywhere because there'd be no plan to distribute them.
This rant brought to you by Mr. Negativity. We're 2 weeks out from Christmas, bro.
It's not negative. That's just the truth right there.
Do you know, though, that
But that doesn't fit their narrative if you give President Trump credit for getting this vaccine, not only cutting the red tape for it to be just developed in 9
tested,
months.
distributed, and they sped through testing it on animals? Let me tell you, if you go today,
Peter got involved.
We now, or Ash never did, but I have no real feud with the Victoria Advocate lately, and as you can see, things are going smoother for them when I have no feud with them. If you read today's Advocate back in Section A, around page 5 or 6, somewhere in the back there where they mention the Electoral College, you will see an AP article that says, essentially, the headline essentially says, the delay of the vaccine could lead to more deaths. And I'm like, people, the vaccine got here literally at warp speed, and there's nothing negative to say about the vaccine.
What delay? Are they just trying
president.
are they trying to manufacture something?
Right.
Yeah.
You see that it's Sark with a stick, sarcastic, Sark stick. Yeah, got it.
Yeah, I don't know. Who called Joe Biden yesterday?
Vladimir Putin. Interesting, because Putin, I don't think, called Donald Trump. I think they were kind of at odds at that point, and makes you kind of wonder if there's some Russia collusion there.
Kind of does, doesn't it?
Collusion. Who's that remind you a little bit?
Well, Sean Connery, maybe?
There's collusion at the highest levels. Yeah. I was at home with the prom queen.
So I think I've settled Cleveland's nickname issue for next year.
Totally agree with you.
The Cleveland Rockers.
I totally agree with this. It ties into their tourism factory, which is the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And, you can remember, Cleveland Rocks, Cleveland Rock. You could even just call them the Rocks. That'd be cool. The Rocks. Now, Rockers is more of a noun.
And then you can, Rockers is more an action verb. Then you could shorten it to the Rocks if you need to.
True. Right? But you could have like Def Leppard patch on one sleeve, Van Halen on the other. I mean, they could do tributes to the new class of Rock and Roll Hall of Famers and
tie it in.
It would be great marketing for the city of Cleveland.
I don't know that you would even have to change the colors, because blue and red, navy,
red, white, and blue, man, rock and roll.
Rock and roll colors.
Yeah. I think the Cleveland Rockers is I think it's great.
I don't know that they had to go there. I completely agreed with getting rid of Chief Wahoo. That was a caricature.
It was
done
for fun. It wasn't
it
meant to demean the American Indian.
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah.
He was red. He was red because they can't handle the booze. I mean, that's why,
But would you not have done better to tell the stories of American Indians, Native Americans?
Agree. But the Cleveland Native Americans doesn't really work either.
Well, it doesn't really fit across the chest of the jersey either. Tough to put that on, you're taking up the whole hat by that point. Right. Unless you just had an N and an A with a slash mark, and then when they have a bad year, it's just they're not applicable, and that would look good.
That's most of their existence. They've been not applicable.
Pretty much.
I do
until
like
Jim Thome came around, but I think
Cleveland Rockers.
Cleveland Rockers is it as far as I'm concerned.
Astros and the Rockers tonight at Minute Maid. It's got a good ring to it. I like it.
Stroh's rock the Rockers.
Right.
Headlines are writing themselves. We haven't even played a game yet.
The youth movement in Houston put Cleveland in their rocking chairs last night. I like that.
So I will submit that to the Cleveland Rockers.
I like
today.
it a ton.
But there was a lot of, I don't want to say fear, but a lot of movement that this was coming soon. But now they've said, well, it'll be next year.
What's funny about that is
because they've already made the uniforms for this year and all the merchandise has been ordered.
It's never too late to do the right thing, right? Isn't that what we're always told? Why can't you just say effective right now? We are no longer, because you know what? Because here's why. This is the truth. We can get one more year of selling Indians gear where everybody's going to want an Indians jersey of some type to commemorate the way the Indians used to be. They're going to buy it. They're going to shrink wrap it. They're going to put it under the bed to give to the grandkids. For real, to the tune of millions and millions and millions of dollars of stuff. And then sometime after Cleveland falls out of contention in 21, they will introduce, here's the new stuff next year for the Cleveland Rockers. And it's going to, be shaped like a guitar or something. It's going to have some witty little deal to it. It should just be block letters, Rockers.
Yeah, you can't get too flying.
You don't want
to make it too flying V because those guitars come and go, right?
Right. Yeah. So
popularity.
I do believe that is exactly why they're doing this. Yeah.
That and they've already ordered all that gear.
No doubt. Bob Wadley says, I feel sorry for Chief Wahoo, Aunt Jemima, and even the Indian is gone from Land O'Lakes butter. And then at the exact same time, because we're in a reparation mode right now, everybody is in pure reparation mode. We play a game at my house, and I'm not exaggerating, called Find the White Guy. Find the White Guy. So Jake from State Farm, he used to be white, but he's black now. And the girl that does the AT&T commercials, she now just kind of moderates a conversation between a black woman that looks a lot like Kamala Harris and a black man who is there to buy a phone. And I don't have a problem with that. It's just something I notice. I notice that if there's a couple, it
just seems so contrived.
Right. If there's a couple, they are typically mixed race. Okay, that's America. But it's just interesting that if you were going to go get a product, you want to promote a product or a service. What are the odds that you go, this is not a real couple? So somebody in marketing goes, well, get me a really handsome black guy and a white chick. And let's put them together.
OB just ruined it. The Rockers were the Cleveland WNBA team, so he doesn't see that happening.
I tell you what, since nobody knows, I think we ought to do that anyway. I think that's a great name. That's just a waste of a name on the Cleveland WNBA.
I don't think they have a team anymore, do they?
I don't know. That is just terrible.
Cleveland Lake Monsters?
Oh, that's so weak. I called them the Eries.
Here's how Clayton Myers says, don't kid yourself. It'll be called the Cleveland baseball team. That way nobody is offended.
Right. You're probably
except
right.
for Indians fans, but they don't count anymore. But
I love the New York Football Giants.
Where were you going with your? Where were you on your? Oh, here's how hypocritical Hollywood is. They're so concerned about equity and equality, but as soon as the ratings tank, they cancel shows like Blackish.
Oh yeah, they're scared of that.
Or the comedy that featured an all Asian cast. Right? When the dollars no longer add up to where they need them to be, to heck with equality, to heck with trying to improve the visibility of minorities. If the dollars don't follow, Hollywood's hypocrisy reigns supreme, and they'll cancel those shows.
Now, Christopher Conrad makes a good point that in the quest for equity, for being fair and honest, says the new Jake from State Farm really is much better than the last one. I agree.
Yeah.
But you know why? Because the Jake that they had that was the white guy was kind of a bumbling goof.
Caricature of
white men. He was a caricature of white men. White men in this country have been emaciated by the public. White men. Look at American Dad. Look at Homer Simpson. They're fat. They're stupid.
Balding.
Right. It's what it is. Tell me I'm wrong. It is what it is. There is no more Magnum PI Tom Selleck walking in and going,
even Friends. If you look at it, 6 white folks in the cast, but the men were all sort of
weak men
and idiots.
Real men. Yeah. Look at the cartoons and realize that in the media, on television, white men are the brunt of all the jokes.
Except in Hollywood movies, where they cast them as the heroes.
Right. And
white men with accents are always the villains.
And I'm going to tell you folks something to make you feel good. You watch all these, Corey, your brother says you'll never see a show called Whitish. That's because it was just called privilege.
They had 40 years of that.
It was called Dynasty. It was called Dallas. It's all about white people being rich. Gilligan's Island. Love it. Could you go to the tent and give me an extra $1 million? Where are your diamonds? Rich white.
I always love that. They paid Gilligan a bunch of money that he couldn't spend anywhere.
Right. Craziness.
He might have been the first bumbling white man on TV.
Absolutely.
He was the inspiration for generations.
Well, even the skipper was viewed as kind of dumb and slow, Yeah.
So, Tim Taylor, Andy Schneider says, the Tool Man was pretty much that way, wasn't he?
Yeah, kind of goofy. Yeah. So we need to take a quick break. We're getting the judge in here. Atzenhofer, I still say Atzenhofer Chevrolet. I'm old school, but the Atzenhofer
dealerships now,
what a great deal. You can see
that. They pigeonhole themselves into one brand.
Atzenhofer.com. Atzenhofer.com, great place to shop. You can shop. I want to get a certified vehicle. That goes through 160-something plus checkpoints that Atzenhofer. They check the brakes. They make sure the windshield's not cracked. They do all kinds of stuff. And then you can say, I want one certified with under 10,000 miles on it, and it'll bring up maybe 20, 30 vehicles. You can go through and shop any way you want at Atzenhofer.com. Chevy, Cadillac, Mazda, Mitsubishi, those are the new offerings. All the 21s are coming in. And you've got pre-owned vehicles that have gone through an extensive background check and are deemed to be, worthy.
And you can see them all at Atzenhofer.com.
Fantastic. So do that. Since 1926, people, 94 years as Victoria's dealership. No getting around it. White Trash Services right in the middle of trying to get the city's garbage contract.
Now you sound Canadian.
Honestly. They're doing a great job. 550-1826.
It's garbage in Canada.
Garbage. Is it a garage?
It's garbage day today.
Elton John
no,
said
it's not a garage.
No, is it aluminium?
No.
Why would they add I don't know. They add an extra syllable there that's just not there in writing.
There's a lot of.
The King's English is for some really dumb people. You know what I'm saying?
It's a car park.
White Trash Services, 550-1826. You want to be smart about your garbage? Get a hold of them. Razor IT Solutions, smarter than you. Smarter than you, understands your analytics, understands who's trying to hack into your system, understands how to get you the ability to monetize your efforts on your web page, on your Facebook page, how to tie those together, put it all into your QuickBooks. It's stuff that you're not doing now that your business needs. Reach out to Razor IT Solutions. He's not going to charge you $900 to come out there and talk to you. In fact, he may get you to come to his office, hook up your computer, tap into your website, and he'll show you, well, right here, did you know that 90% of the people, their eyes drift to the top right of the page? And once you see that, that's where you need to have something that grabs their attention.
Something as simple as finding out when your customers are visiting your webpage so you can target things when they're there.
Absolutely. You want to know when people are targeting Uncle Mutt's barbecue?
Every day after 11, yep.
Get over there around 11-ish. They're going to open up with brisket ribs, sausage, turkey, chicken. They've got it all. Green beans, pinto beans, coleslaw, potato salad, pea salad, fried shrimp, boiled shrimp, shrimp etouffee,
shrimp potatoes.
Come on. That about does it.
That's about it.
That's about it.
Kelly Fromme points out last week the Epic Times had an article, Mamas Don't Let Your Cowboys Grow Up to Be Babies.
Amen.
Wonder if that was coinciding with the NFR, the Wrangler National Finals.
And Kelly Fromme says we need to raise men. And, there's nothing wrong with being a man. It doesn't mean that you're demeaning to women. A gentleman that reaches out and opens a door isn't insinuating that a woman can't do it. And it's not really being sexually harassing either. It's just kind of acknowledging.
You know what's interesting? I'll hold doors for If I'm the first one there, I'll hold the door for the next person, whoever it is.
Right.
Doesn't matter.
People hold
Just be
doors for me
nice.
because I'm so old.
Well, yeah, that's elderly. That's supporting the
It's
elderly.
like, excuse me, my wheel is caught on your foot. Could you move? I'm trying to get my walker in there with the tennis ball.
You hold the door for Dawn, and people are just always commenting on how nice it is that you hold the door for your daughter.
Right? Isn't that cute? Is it Daddy-Daughter Day?
Oh, that's how nice. She got him out of the home and is taking him for lunch.
But that's when they do that. That's when I try to like kiss her in public. She's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm tired of the stares. Tired of them staring at me." Look at that. People like that comment, Kelly, from me. No kidding.
So we're bringing, and here's the thing.
Like, he'll let you know when he wants.